Hey guys, how you doing? This is Bobby here. Just trying to relax a little bit. This is another little video that's going to go into surviving the economic crisis and the collapse or whatever, the changes, let's just call it. I use that term surviving the economics because that's really I think that's really what affects people the most, is their pocketbook, and that's what's going to wake them up. Otherwise we just keep on asleep like little sheeples going around to the malls and buying our little crap and storing it up, oblivious to reality. But come on, people, we have to come to the revelation now that that's actually a big illusion. It's a fantasy. It's not sustainable. We're headed towards a new paradigm for the human race, and so what we're seeing now is the end of the old one. Like I mentioned, the problems with the old system are systemic. There's no fixing it. It's dying, and the sooner you wake up to that, the more enjoyable your life's going to be, and the easier it'll be for you to make that transition. So this video is going to be about we talked about so far, storing food, supplies. We talked a little bit about, alternative energies, things you can do in the physical world, of course, to aid in keeping the physical part of you, the physical Bobby B alive, so to speak, the little human part of you. But the other part of you, the spirit, the soul, the you, that makes you up, that's also critical in survival. You need to learn how to, we're going to have to learn how to navigate through this and stay positive and keep our survival instinct high, because the last thing we want to do is get downtrodden, and let these bastards control us with their negativity and their whole suppression technologies to keep us dumbed down like little sheeples, or otherwise we're going to end up in all the little FEMA camps, walking around bumping into each other like little idiots, So we don't want to do that. So, and you know what? This is the most important probably aspect in survival is your frame of mind. I mean, yeah, you do need food and water, but if you don't have a frame of mind that you want to survive, if you don't want to get through this, then your level of survival or your capability of survival will be greatly decreased. So this is probably the most important. So I would think that, hey, you know what they say, the darkest hour is the one before dawn. So think of that. Remember that, people. As things progress and they get worse, the darkest hour is always before the dawn. Okay, and so as things get worse, and they're going to, I don't care what the media is trying to tell you. Remember that the reason it's getting worse is because it's the end of the old ways. It's the end of the old system, and of course it has to be destroyed, before something new can be born out of it. So don't let it get you down. And I think the best way to handle all that is to realize what's happening. If you're aware of what's going on, if you've opened your mind to the possibility of changes, if you fill your head full of knowledge, however you want to do it, open your mind to this. That will empower you, people, and that will help you. I mean, you can't believe the level of empowerment it is to know these things. Yes, it does compromise your ego. Your little ego's in there. I am the master of your world. Don't tell me what's going on. I know it's all me. If you can tell that guy to take a hike, the ego part, and realize, what? As human beings, we're a collective, and try to have more compassion, with each other, more empathy, and try to practice those virtues that make us wonderful and human, that separate us from those Illuminaticus bastards, because they don't care about anything except themselves, and they'll do anything they can just to use us and abuse us. And so we, the good people, the people that care about each other and are good people, that's what we got to worry about. So again, the darkest hour is before the dawn. Remember that. This is going to be a spiritual evolution and a social revolution. So, this is going to be exciting times. That's the way I look at it. We're going to see the greatest show on earth. It's like a movie, It's like the greatest movie there ever could be. Oh God! And we're the stars, We're the stars of this thing. We're gonna make it happen, people. Oh, please be with me on this. I need positive people, to see what's going on. And I need your love to help us get through this, because I know all of you are probably feeling down. I know mom's not going to be having a job much longer. And of course, things are getting tight everywhere. And, it's getting crazy, people. But, keep our spirits up, realize that we are eternal creatures. This is a process, and it's for the good. Don't keep hanging on to the past and, oh, I can't, I hope it gets better. Like the politicians and the leaders in the world, they're holding on to the past because they don't want to let go, because they like it the way it is. They like the status quo because they're in charge, and we're their little bitches, and they like it like that. So of course they don't want to let it go, and they're going to try to convince you in every way possible not to let it go. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to fight against these little bastards, is let go of it all and say, you know what, you guys can have it. I'm ready for whatever's new. I'm going to do the best I can, but that's all I can do, and I'm ready for anything new. And if you go with that attitude, that's going to really empower you to help get through all this. So, that's really what I wanted to share with you in this little video. Is really is the mental aspect of it, and to really start being positive about it, because I don't know about you, but when this first started coming down, like I mentioned, I really wasn't paying too much attention to it until it started affecting my pocketbook, and then I was like, what the hell is going on in this world? So when I started looking, and I looked at the whole picture, and the picture got bigger, and it got bigger, and it got bigger, and I started throwing away any kind of belief systems I had, and I just said, what the hell? Let's just pretend I don't know anything and what's going on. And once I did that, I'm getting a greater and greater perspective of reality, and what that's doing is it's just empowering me. I mean, yeah, I had my little dark night of soul, where I was going to grandma's room and I'd lay on the floor and cry, and she said, "What's wrong, little Bobby B?" And I'd say, "Well, the world's going to hell in a handcart, Grandma. There's nothing I can do, and I'm things are getting tight around here." And she goes, "Oh, okay," and she made me a little cup of hot chocolate, and it helped me out that night. But everybody has that little dark night soul. Have it, get through it, and move on, people, because this is going to be incredible. I mean, this is going to be the greatest thing we've ever seen. So those those guys can just take a hike. We don't need their bitch. So we're going to help people like you. The human being is a collective. The human race, people, we're a collective. Okay, we are a collective consciousness, and that's what's interesting, because I noticed that and this is really fascinating. The people that subscribe to me so far, I just want to thank you. I really feel your love, and I really appreciate that, because I didn't know what to do, and so this is kind of therapeutic for me. I get on here and I tell people and share with you, and hopefully you'll share with me with your little comments. I love so far. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But what I noticed was when I looked into subscribers, and I started going to their sites, and of course I subscribe to anybody that subscribes to me, because we're trying to support each other here. And I go to their sites and I look at who they subscribe to, and it's the same people that I've been watching on YouTube, and the things that have helped me understand. So what it is this big sort of collective synchronicity. It's beautiful. I can't believe it. It's like we are coming out of this, people. This is going to be a revolution and an evolution of us, man. It's incredible. So when I go in there and I see that, oh look, that guy is going to the same places I'm going, and he's learning the same things I'm learning, and he came to my side and he subscribed to me, and that's just how it works. If you believe in the holographic universe, that's how come that works that way. In other words, just a few of us, there's 6 billion people on the planet, but just a small portion of us, maybe 100 million or a million, or a very small portion. Once we get to the level that we are now, where we're starting to believe this stuff, the people that are subscribing to me, you guys are already relatively aware of what's the stuff I'm talking about. That's why we're getting together. That's why we have a familiarity with each other. Once enough of us gets there, it reaches a critical mass, and it spreads through the consciousness. And that's part of the holographic aspect of this reality, is that everything in the very minute is contained. That what's contained in the minute is part of the whole. It's just fascinating when you get into the whole holographic universe part. But it also pertains to the soul and spirit and energy, and we are all part of that. So how does that relate to surviving the economic collapse? It's probably the most important thing. It is absolutely that we realize these things and we become aware, and this will empower us. And the Benakis and these people of the world, and all the people that are the part of the pawns of the ruling elite and what they're doing, it won't frustrate you so much when you realize this, because you'll just go, oh yeah, they playing their little game. They're on the last leg of that little journey for those guys, because they're not even headed in the same path we are. We want something new, and there's struggling daily to hang on to what's left of what they got, and they realize so much that it's going away, and that's why they're putting so much extra pressure on us, with all this stuff they're trying to do with legislation, forced servitude, trying to get rid of our guns. This FEMA camp thing, setting it up. They're hoping for martial law so they can hurt us in there, control us. They're creating this economic collapse, of course, if you believe it's a mistake or somebody, it just happened. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. In my opinion, this is totally designed this way because they would love it. Again, because we'll be downtrodden and they can come in and save us, and they will be our savior again. Anyway, all these things that they do, they are grasping at straws now, people. And I heard a good analogy the other day. It was perfect. We're like the ball, a beach ball at the bottom of the swimming pool, and it's got to come up. Its natural state is to be floating on the surface, and they're doing everything they can to hold it down. But the laws of physics tell you that you cannot hold it down indefinitely. It's again, its natural state is to be floating free and aloft, So, people, just keep coming and viewing and sharing with everybody, all you subscribers, keep sharing with your people and share everything with everybody, and let's really help everybody get through this process.